board meeting on today. Secretary, I'm calling the meeting to order. Can we do the roll call, please?
Here.
Mrs. Galbraith?
Here.
Mrs. Gasparo?
Here.
Dr. Hall?
Here.
And Mrs. Sanders via phone?
Here. Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to move on to our business meeting. Prior to that, I would like to say that this meeting is a special board meeting. We did have our meeting on Tuesday evening, and unfortunately, it ended early because we had 3 board members leave the meeting. And when that happens, we can no longer move forward and conduct the business of the school district. So that is why we're having this meeting today. I would like to say that I would like to commend the board members that are here today, that came in attendance today. Unfortunately, when we do not move forward with the business meeting, there are businesses of the district that we cannot conduct. So those of you that are here today, I know we had to work around our schedules. We have things going on, but it is important to come together cohesively to do what's good for our district and to put differences aside and do what we need to do for our district. So this I say to my fellow board members, whatever differences we have, we need to put them aside and do what we need to do for this school district and what's best for our children in everything that we do. I know that it was a inconvenience for some of you to come today, and so I commend you for that. I know Mrs. Sanders is at work calling in. Mrs. Gasparo, I know you have children. We all have families. We all have things that we're committed to. Mr. Brown, I believe you were supposed to be out of town. I rushed in from an event. I'm saying this so our public knows that we have come together and we're committed to doing the business of this district. Now, the other side of this is us as board members working together in order to make sure that we do what's right going forward. And I challenge my board members to commit to that, to commit to make sure that we work together. And I challenge the public as well to work with us in order to ensure that we are doing what's best for children. I understand that Mr. Teray just walked in. And Mr. Teray, I would like to say to you, I understand that you originally were not going to be here today because you have family and from out of town. I'm glad to see that you did decide to come in because we all have family. We all have other commitments. And this is where we make it right as a district and do what we need to do regardless of what's going on in our lives. So moving forward, we have on the agenda to approve the consent agenda.
Need a motion? Moved. You have to read it? All right.
A little clear on that. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Moved.
Moved by Mrs. Gasparo,
Second.
second by Mrs. Galbraith. Okay. Superintendent's going to read everything that's on the consent agenda.
Echo in here.
Yeah, just so you know, it's really hard to hear you over. You're bouncing off the walls, just so you know. So we may not be hearing exactly what you're asking of us. I'm sorry.
Donald, can you turn it down a little bit?
I think it was a problem between my mic and your mic.
Oh,
When I
okay.
kick it on and you're on, it causes a problem.
Okay, thank you.
No
And
problem.
it's really well that you guys can hear me. I can't, it's bouncing, so I know it's phone, I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll be mindful of that. Thank you.
Consent agenda approval from the superintendents. Number 1, regular meeting minutes of September 15th, 2015. 2, special meeting minutes, September 29th, 2015. 3, special meeting closed session minutes of September 29, 2015. 4, Finance Committee meeting minutes of October 5th, 2015. 5, Personnel Committee meeting minutes of October 13th, 2015. Personnel Committee meeting closed session minutes of October 13th. 7, Education Committee meeting minutes of October 15th, 2015. 8, approve payment of Career Preparation Network's local fund match. 9, approval of CPN intergovernmental agreements amendment. 10, approval of speed resolution amendments. B, curriculum. Recommendation to approve assembly contracts. C, human resources. Approved hiring of certified staff members. That is Kim Groves and Karen Juco. Approved certified staff leaves of absence. That is Elizabeth Rosenstein. That is approved certified staff reassignments. That is Catherine Kennedy. That is approved certified staff resignations. That is Jeffrey Heimer. Next is approved hiring of education support personnel. That is Deanna Beatty, Victoria Camp, Brian Dalton, Virginia Landick, Corey Horton, Ingrid Weathers, Ryan Wentfeld. Approve support staff reassignment. That is Tiffany Cole and James Rogers. Approve returns from leave of absence for educational support staff. That is Diamond Burnett and Nuthia Payton. Approve educational support staff intent to retire. Genevieve Robinson. Approve educational support staff resignation. Kia Dunbar and Mona Oliver. Business, approve account payables agenda of bills for October 15, 2015. 2, approve payroll for October 2015. 3, treasurer's report. 4, dental benefits report. 5, health benefits report. 6, quarterly interest report. And 7, recommendation to approve agreement with clarity in numbers. And E, donations/acknowledgements. That is our consent agenda for our special meeting on Friday, October 23rd, 2015.
Thank you. The motion is on the table. Are there any comments or questions?
I just have a question on that, that one about the, it's going so fast here, I gotta find it. The $10,000 contract, that performance thing, what's the correct title on it? I can't find it. Can you explain a little more on how this is gonna work and what it's gonna do for us?
There's a $4,000 one and
You see it there, Mr. Cunningham?
No,
Let me find it.
there's two. and there's
Touring performance contract for Magic of the Spellbinder performance
for $29.50. and then
for
the next
$29.50, and the other one is,
Oh,
Did you
that's,
talk to that?
that's Laura.
That's Laura. Laura would be glad to speak on that.
okay, can you explain a little more about what that's about?
Sure. I think it's on. Every year, the curriculum office budgets for 3 assemblies for our elementary schools. And we, this year we had one by a gentleman called the Rope Warrior who did a jump rope assembly this week. And the ones that are in the board packet are from Urban Gateways, which is a company out of Chicago that we've been using for several years. And what the elementary principals do is they meet and they go through the selection of all the choices of assemblies, and they pick 2 or 3 and bring those to me for recommendation. And then we book those assemblies for them. The 2 that they've selected, I believe one is the Magic of the Spellbinder. He's a magician. He's been here before. And the second one, I believe, is a dance group. We try and support fine arts, PE, music, and visual arts, especially since some of those are not as part of our school day. So we're trying to supplement in that regard.
Okay, now are these at all the schools or just certain schools?
It's the elementary schools, so the
All the
5 elementary
elementaries.
schools.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you.
I do have just a question as well on the assembly contracts. As far as these two companies coming in, can you hear me okay? Can you? It's on, it's showing the green light. Better?
That's better.
Okay. In respect to the assembly contracts, two contractors, I didn't see any certificate of insurance. Can we get certificate of insurance from those two companies and have Crete listed, the district listed as additional holder? They are here on site performing activities, and I think they need to show us that they are insured.
Okay, I can certainly get that
should
from
be a-
Urban Gateway.
Should really be a relatively easy fix for them to supply us, okay?
Okay.
And we'll talk about that more, maybe in policy or finance, either one.
Can you hear him, Terry?
So we don't get, certificate of insurance. That's all I have.
One question.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, with the assemblies, I noticed that, are we going through the proper bidding process as they are well over the bidding amounts? So, I understand there's specialty, activities or engagement. What is the procedure and the process by which you guys go through the, bidding process, since it is over the, allotted amount for that?
We go through the bidding process.
No, we don't. It's a specialty service, and there's only so many companies that provide assemblies for schools, so we don't do any formal bidding.
Did you hear that, ma'am?
I did not.
Okay, it is a specialty service that they have, and only a certain amount of companies are available to do that type of work, and the bidding is not required, and we have not done bidding.
So who's indicated or who's made the decision that the bidding is not required?
The bidding not being required, being a specialty service, it is in Illinois law about certain things that are specialty that you don't have to bid out.
Okay. I'm sorry, so when you say that, in other words, let's just pretend we have the option of the Monee Dance Theater versus Alvin Ailey, between the two of those companies who are providing, because these services, there are more than one company clearly that offer these benefits. So with that said, you're telling me that it's specialty in nature of, did we check with other companies? Because I'm looking at one of them. There are clearly other companies that provide these services. It is just our statement and opinion that we chose these based on the specialty services standards, if you will, for Illinois. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. Just because it's not required by Illinois state law doesn't mean that we can't do it, just to make sure that we're clear. And what I'm
understanding you to say is that you're asking us how we made our picks, and
Absolutely, and more importantly, if we go back to past practice, we have certainly utilized the same companies. Thus, it means that we're not necessarily offering or opening this process up to other organizations who might very well want to do business with the school district. So for us to simply say that these are the only companies in the whole wide world, or even for that matter, for the community at large, that these are the only companies that do that, it doesn't make much sense to me.
I think Kim brings up a good point, and I think this is an opportunity for us to revisit this and let it be pretty much clear cut, so to speak, when it comes to who's a single source, where do we have a specialty, the category, so on and so forth. So it's definitely an opportunity. So it would not be a gray area. We need
Yes.
to look at this.
Yes, sir.
And I'd like to add, Laura, I have a question. Do we have a list of companies for the schools, or are we really just looking at 3 or 4 different companies? I know that, and I respect the fact that the buildings, may have someone come and they really like it and they want to bring them back. But do we have a variety of choices? Is it very limited, or?
Well,
And I know
we-
sometimes districts share information between districts on what
Sure.
they use.
We used to receive booklets from companies. I have not received any in quite a number of years. But, sometimes word of mouth, talking with other districts, our principals certainly find things. In fact, this year, not all of our assemblies are coming from urban gateways. We have a jump rope assembly that's, coming from a different group. This particular company that we've been utilizing, we have been working with them for a number of years. They, the original intent was that it was out of the city of Chicago. They were there to support our fine arts programs, which we didn't have in our, as part of our school day. And they have been working, to provide those opportunities for us. But those are the ones that the curriculum office is funding. The schools are certainly open to bringing in other people, but we wanted to make sure that the schools all had at least 3 assemblies every year, which is what we've been doing.
And trying to just make sure there's more uniformity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think we should look to trying to add more vendors to the list to make it, more variety, because the kids may get tired of seeing the same people as well every year.
Well, and we don't use the same people same performances every year. They have a wide
they change the
range.
performances.
They
Gotcha.
change the performances. That company offers a variety of opportunities. And so the principals are very much aware of who they've had and when they've had them, to make sure that they're not repeating too frequently. If there's somebody that the students are particularly fond of, that they have some kind of rotation. But I'm on their website right now. They do offer a lot, but there are other opportunities out there that we can certainly check into.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, am I correct in, is the total $6,950 or is it $4,000? On the bottom of the little graph that shows their dates, it says grand total, $6,950. I don't know.
Yes, it's $6,950, and that is the combination of the 2 assemblies together. So one is $2,950 to serve all 5 schools, and the other one, the Latin Jazz Assembly, is $4,000. Correct.
I don't know the page numbers, I can't. So Laura, what does this do that we couldn't do with our band and our own internal people? Put a show on with our choir show and our own students doing this?
Well, we can certainly do that. We have done that, where we've had show choirs and bands come down and perform at the elementary schools. This particular one, the Latin Jazz, is a genre of music and they provide, that experience for students. I'm not sure our bands would have to prepare special, in a special way to provide that genre of music, as opposed to their regular music list that they practice. So this is giving them an exposure to a professional group and a certain type of music.
So are these all adult entertainers?
Yes.
They're all adult, okay. Thank you.
Is this the company that we had the Latin or the Motown
Yes.
assembly from last year? I happened to be subbing last year in Monee when we had one of the Urban Gateways come in. And I think last year there was also a puppet show. Was that also Urban Gateways?
Everything, yes, that was Urban
So,
Gateways.
yeah, and the-
Music ones, we have storytellers, dance groups.
Yeah, so I was able to attend 2 assemblies from Urban Gateways last year while teaching, and the kids really enjoyed it. So,
You can't hear anything over here. Yeah, it's, nothing is directed this way, it's going that way and staying there.
Okay, Terry, please call the roll.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
The recommendation to approve the agreement with the clarity and numbers that's in the consent, right? The recommendation is to approve the agreement with clarity and numbers.
That is correct.
Okay, I do have another concern with
We
that
can't hear a
particular.
thing down here, sorry.
I have a concern with that contract, clarity and numbers. It says that the cost for the 2014-15 full valuation is $4,500, but deep into the contract, it leaves some loopholes to really crank that number up. So I say we approve this for this value for $4,500, but if it goes up, it needs to come back to the board if it goes higher. I don't know how we can do that, but it's kind of an open-ended contract. It's kind of closed on one side and it's open on another side.
You've only approved the contract for $4,500.
That is correct.
If you said that. I mean,
Yes.
that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm
$4,500.
saying.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's what the board would be doing. They would be approving the contract for $4,500. If there were additional money or additional issues, we'd have to come back to the board.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. That's,
But the contract in and of itself said additional expenses will occur doing this and that, this, and all of that. So we put the brakes on at $4,500.
$4,500.
And we revisit it if it appears to get near or close to being going over. Bring it to the finance committee.
So you say any addendums to the contract need to be brought back to the finance or to the, if there's some additionals that would be put in an addendum format?
Yeah, and some soft costs within kind of dug deep into the contract. And it just leaves the contract to be open very much where the cost is almost like the sky's the limit, in my opinion. So we put the brakes on at $4,500, and I will expect our business manager to look at this, and if it comes where it's going to be needed additional money, and we need to talk about it.
Mr. Cunningham, what is he talking about? We're not on the same page here. We don't have anything with 4,500.
It's on page 88.
it's on for me, it's on page 90, but what it says basically is, we will bill you for $4,500 at the inception of the project, and it's payable upon receipt. And it says any necessary or requested changes in scope of this project, which are not included in the letter or separate arrangement, may require additional fees. What Mr. Brown has said is no additional fees. We're only approving $4,500, and that was my understanding at the inception.
Yeah, and when you get into hour-based contracts, we will work additional hours. We don't know exactly what those hours are. That's just not a good contract per se. So we just got to watch it. We can move forward with it because it's, in my opinion, it's needed, it's required. I believe that's gas fee, 45. It's a general accounting practice, 45. So it gives us what we need for a good accounting practice. But we have to move forward and watch it on where this is going to go.
I will make sure that the business manager is aware and that we keep eye on this.
Okay.
Okay, any additional questions or comments?
the special board meeting minutes from September 29th need to be amended so that they say special meeting, not regular meeting.
Which one?
What was that?
Special meeting from September 29th.
Okay, what's the problem?
The minutes say regular meeting. They should say
Oh,
special
The
meeting.
minutes
Okay,
say regular meeting.
I think we normally have 2 regular board meetings in September every year. That is my understanding. That's why it doesn't read
So
special.
then the agenda says
But the
special,
agenda
Okay.
says special.
It should say
and-
regular. They should all be regular.
as long as it's consistent.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have one question regarding the finances, and I spoke for a couple of minutes to Dr. Williams about it, and she said that she thought it was already being done, but I would personally like to see the credit card bills as part of the agenda packet. She thought that was already being done. All we have is a list of everything that's being paid to Chase. So I'd like to see those statements. And she agreed. She thought it was already being taken care of.
So put a note. What she has asked for is that with all of the money and the information that is reported to the Board of Education, that the credit card bills please come so that the board would be able to review them.
Thank you.
That's not on the regular check registry, that's not included?
No, only payment, only the full payment to Chase is on there. It doesn't give the individual bills.
I'm sorry?
Only the information for how much is paid to Chase is available. The individual amounts and individual items that are done are not on our bills. And what is being requested is that those individual items from the individual credit cards be here for the board monthly.
Okay. And that's, let me just, for clarification then, because it sounds, so you're basically saying, because I think I just saw that, so information that normally has been FOIA'd, and that would be, what is the superintendent eating, let's just say, for lunch, that now, opposed to us having to read it via someone's FOIA, it would be now placed openly for us to review monthly, in the event that we wanted to place some oversight and say, based on, because you have a budget, is that my understanding? Your office and your staff have a budget, and we want to maybe oversee that. It is, you guys are operating within that. Help me understand, what are we agreeing to or asking for, maybe?
What was being asked for was for the bills for the credit card, and yes, we are operating within the budget, and we will operate within the budget. If there's an issue or concern, we'll come to the board about having to go outside of the budget.
But this is for you. These are for you guys, your administration, because we don't have credit cards. So whose credit cards are we talking about?
We're talking about the credit cards of the district.
Well, Jennifer is the one that requested, so I think she should make clarity on what she's requesting.
I just would like to see something that shows where the money is going rather than just a payment to Chase.
Please repeat it again, Jennifer.
I didn't hear what she said.
She has to repeat it again.
I would like to see the individual expenses rather than just a check being cut to Chase.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I believe we can now take the vote. Terry, please.
Do we need to make a motion to that effect, or
Already.
how do we do that to make sure this happens?
To make sure what happens.
The credit? Oh, okay. All right, fine. So henceforth, we'll see itemized billing versus just a total, grand total. And we don't need to make a motion or do anything to do that. Okay, thank you.
All right, I just want to make sure that we have a motion from Mrs. Gasparo and a second from Mrs. Galbraith to approve the consent agenda with the revisions that I've got noted here. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Gasparo.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. Teray.
Aye.
Mrs. Galbraith.
Aye.
Mrs. Sanders.
Aye.
Dr. Hall.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge our donations. Kelly Chester would like to thank Mrs. Girk. Generosity towards their program and students. Not very specific on what that was. But thanks given to her. Michelle Johnson, principal, at Talala is thanking Mr. Quinn from Care Package Coalition for their donation of school supplies and toys for PBIS. Mr. Tobias is thanking Kaj Moyer, Shorewood Home and Auto, for the Polaris vehicle that was donated to Crete Monee High School for the use during the homecoming event. Erin Lane, Principal, Crete Elementary. I'd like to thank Old Town Tap for their 5 gift card donations for PBIS. Erin Lane would also like to thank Ultimate Flavors Popcorn Shop for their 6 gift card donations. She's also thanking Northwoods for their 2 gift card donations. And Delta Sigma Theta Sorority is thanking Dr. Harden for collaborating on National Voter Registration Day to register students to vote at the high school. Joanne Jones, principal at Monee, is thanking AT&T Pioneers for donation of rocking chairs for their library. And I believe that's it. Okay, at this time, we'd like to entertain public comment from our audience. I would like to read our guidelines. Public comment, okay, number 1 is not applicable. Number 2, comment forms submitted at the start of the regular board meeting will not be addressed. Board of Education meeting is a business meeting held in public. Please note the Board of Education's policy requires that members not respond to the public. If you are not able to speak, you may submit your comments in writing and they will be shared with each board member. Please address the Board of Education in a courteous and respectful manner at all times. Persons making public comments will be allowed 3 minutes. The Board of Education may extend or reduce the time limits at its discretion. The Board of Education will limit the number of public comments on a particular topic or issue. If you are a member of a group or organization involving the same issue, you should coordinate your comments with others to avoid repetition. You must complete your public comment topic section of the form so that multiple comments on the same issue can be properly categorized. No comments will be permitted without a completed form, and the Board of Education will not engage in a debate. If a comment or question requires additional research or data, the district will post such information to the district website within 14 business days of the Board of Education. At this time, we do have one public comment from
Dr. Hall?
Yes.
I just need to interject, as I stated to both you and Mr. Cunningham, I am at a work conference, so I cannot stay on this phone any longer than the 15 minutes that you guys requested. So I will be dismissing myself at this moment.
Okay, thank you.
ma'am.
Have you noted that,
Thank
Terry?
you.
Terry, have you noted that? Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Jessica Johnson, last meeting from community? Is that community relations?
Just community
Okay.
notes, community. Just, I wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to make note on record. Can you guys hear?
Can't hear the mic. Can you get that
No,
mic?
I'm a mom.
No, it's our phone.
I just want this on record, just how disappointed I was at the last meeting as a community member. I'm sorry that a couple people are not able to hear this. Hopefully they'll look back. But I'm commenting on behavior of the last meeting. I left sick and embarrassed. I was ashamed to be part of a district that had leaders that would speak to each other and the community in that way. A few of you did not even bother emailing or responding nor apologizing. We are a community, we are cohesive, and I just don't feel that we see a lot of cohesiveness up here, and I would really like to see that in our leaders, and especially our elected leaders. So I hope forthcoming that it gets a lot better, but I was very disappointed in the last meeting. That's it.
Thank you. Okay. All righty, do we have any old business to address? Okay. Natalie, you will be, we arranged to get the information and mix it up. Terry is contacting board members regarding Mix It Up. Information went out to the board members regarding our schedule on Mix It Up Day. Everybody got that correct, board members?
I can't understand what you're saying.
You got the information on Mix It Up that came out to all the board members? And the FYI for this week?
Yeah, are you talking about something new? Oh, okay, yes, I have it.
Okay,
I thought you were saying something new, so, okay.
No, the information that came out to the board members on Mix It Up this week, you're going to be touching bases just to confirm everybody's involvement, as well as Night of Leadership, which schools we're going to for that week. So Terry that'll be you or Terry? Okay, Terry will be contacting everyone and confirming all of those details, right? Okay. Okay, any new business?
Yeah, I got some new business. I just, not as sharp as I should be on Robert's rules, so if I'm doing this wrong, please let me know. But I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead with the board investigation on the whereabouts and return of Mr. Edward Anderson, one of our school board members. The attorney at the last meeting asked that if we had 3 board members, we can request it. Do I do this through a motion? If that's a proper procedure, I'm going to do it through a motion. Can anybody hear me or no?
You don't need to vote on that. If you have 3 board members that would like to have a special board meeting, that's all you need. You do not need to vote on calling a special board meeting. If you have 3 board members that would like a special board meeting, that meeting can be called, according to our policy.
So I don't have to motion on that. We'll just do it. Okay. We send you an email?
You can send it to the superintendent.
Okay. Thank you.
However, I will say that all board members need to be in on that communication, not just 3. All board members should be in on that communication, not just 3 board members.
Okay. I just send it to Nate then, and Nate can forward it, correct? Okay.
All righty. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Teray.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Galbraith. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. We are adjourned. Thank you.